Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds. If you'd like to participate if you'd like to join the family, hit that subscribe button down below. Also, click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate on the conversation, you can join me most weekdays where I go live on YouTube, or outside of YouTube, you can consider joining the Facebook group or the Discord that I've created. There is a link for that down in the description below. No. Sorry, I had a thing pop up on my screen there. Let's see. If you're trying to get some idea of the different meals and recipes that I've been enjoying as I have been working towards my weight loss goal, a great place to check out those is down in the description below. There's a link to a Pinterest board, and that's a great place to see those meals and recipes. Today is day 1062 of my challenge to lose 300 pounds. So far, through a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet, I have been able to lose 270 pounds. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I love hearing those as well. If you're succeeding with your diet, let us know what you're doing to succeed. And if you're struggling, let us know what's causing your struggles. Maybe we can help you out. And at the end of the day, what are some things that you are doing or that you can do that will make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Let's go ahead, switch over here. Hello. I hope everybody had a wonderful couple days here. It was not live yesterday. I was supposed to have a cross country event for my kids, for my son, and it ended up getting canceled because of the rain. It seemed crazy at the time because it wasn't raining when they canceled it, but sure enough, right at the time that they would have been running, it was raining pretty good here. So it was a good thing that they canceled it, and but I was unable to go live because they didn't cancel it until kind of last minute. So hope everybody had a good couple of days. A couple people checking in here. Hi, Jay and Pretty Girl's mom. Plants Only Munchers checking in as well. Hello, everybody. Hope you're having a great day. So I actually had a great day. There was a article that I had written a few months back, actually, for the NHA magazine, and I saw today that they released the fall magazine, and so there was an article that I had written in there, which was kind of cool to see that in a magazine and kind of a print run, that goes out to a bunch of people. So I'm excited to I'm excited that I was able to share my story, and those people, more people will get to see kind of my transformation and help keep things going here. So if any of you guys had a chance to see the article, I'd love to hear your feedback. I had kind of a hard time getting the article on the website. I finally figured out a way to do it. I don't know if it was just an issue I was having on my end, or if it's something that was a bad link on the website, but I was able to figure it out and check out the article. I was also kind of cool to see there was an article that Janet had written for the member spotlight part of the NHA magazine. Janet is somebody who's been following the channel for a while, and she has her own YouTube channel, Plant Powered Peddler Janet. And so it was kind of cool seeing her article and kind of seeing her story. And yeah, that's awesome. Tammy here says that she turned the page and said, "Wait, what? This is Jonathan." It made her day. That's awesome, Tammy. I think you had actually were the first person that made me aware that it was published today. And so I thanks for letting me know. And then I kind of went to hunt it down. I'm curious, did you see it in the actual magazine, or you said turn the page, or did you see it online? Because I don't know how they do that, if they send it out before it goes online or what. Carrie's checking in saying hello, Carrie. Hope everything's going great at home this afternoon. But yeah, it was kind of cool to see the article, and kind of, like I said, I had written it a few months back and was waiting for the publication. Tammy says it was the actual magazine that you saw it in. So that's awesome that you saw that, and you got a little surprise there. From the looks of it, it was kind of towards the back of the magazine, but I think that's where they put the member spotlight that Janet had been, that Janet's story was in, and then my story was in a testimonial, or as a testimonial in the magazine. So let's see. Matt says, my friend said we got to get home to see Jonathan. That's awesome. That's great. It's an event. I appreciate all of the support. That's awesome, Matt. Thanks. The only thing that I didn't even notice it when I first looked at the article, but when I went back and looked at it, the title of the article kind of directly goes against a quote that I say within the article. So the title of the article is "An Extraordinary Man Takes on an Extraordinary Challenge." And at one point in the article, I say I'm just a regular person, but I currently find myself doing something extraordinary. The thing about eating this way and eating a plant-based diet is there's nothing that is extraordinary about it. It's something that getting away from the pleasure trap and getting away from those foods, that's an extraordinary accomplishment. But I'm not any better or any different than anybody else who's had issues with food and gotten themselves up to being morbidly obese like I was. It's but anyways, yeah, I just noticed that title when I went back and looked at it, and I really want people to understand that it's not anything special about me. It's the diet is what's special. It's a regular person takes on an extraordinary diet and has extraordinary results. And that was my goal when I started this challenge, was to find a diet that works for me, and a diet that allows me to lose the weight and keep the weight off. And let's see here. Pretty Girl's mom says, I just looked and see the page 2 article in the back of it's the 2-page article in the back of the magazine. Yep. That's the article that I wrote and they published in the magazine. So it was kind of cool, like I said, to see that. And like I said, I'm hoping that maybe it'll inspire somebody to try eating this way, because it's not a diet that I didn't even know it existed until I started eating this way. Like, it was something that but I imagine most people that are reading the NHA magazine are probably in support of a whole food plant-based diet. And I know that magazine kind of leans heavy towards a salt, oil, sugar-free aspect as well, from what I've seen in there. But yeah, so if you get a chance to check out the article, check it out. Let me know what you think of it. If you are not you can still get the article. You just have to sign up as a member for the NHA to get the magazines. And at some point, I think that they will publish it for free on their website. But I'm not sure when that happens or how that happens. So, I don't know if there was anything from the article that I was, I read through the article, like I said, and it was just, it had been a couple months since I had written it. So it was to see the words again. There was a few things that really kind of hit home and kind of help kind of keep that motivational flame ignited here to get something done and to see the to see it through to the end, to the 300 pounds. And even at the time I wrote this, I think I talked about, I talked about my 300-pound goal, but it's definitely a goal to live the rest of my life healthfully and to have a long life and not just to lose the weight, but to be healthy forever. So I'm trying to think if I have a whole lot to talk about today. I don't, like always, have a lot of notes in front of me. Another busy day at work. So, and then I did spend a good chunk of time trying to figure out how to get it up on the website. I had some problems with that, but yeah, trying to think. We had kind of a gloomy afternoon with the rain yesterday, so there wasn't much to do in the afternoon. I am going to, for this next month here, at least for October, I'm going to try to implement some physical activity and some routine exercise. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but I feel like I need to kind of start doing some physical activity just to help with the weight loss and so the book I've been reading, the Blue Zones book of happiness, he talks a lot about having an active life or being more active. And I find that I'm busy at work, but a lot of what I do at work is seated. And so I need to, start doing walks or runs in the morning, or trying to find a time to get some activity in. And then it's going into the fall here. So the weather's fairly nice right now, but we're not too far away from getting into some, colder temperatures and more severe weather. And I want to have something that I'm able to do, or I want to have a plan that I'm able to do something more than just when it is, when the weather's nice enough to do something. Carrie says I can join her 5:30 a.m. class. Yeah, Carrie also has been making me feel like a slacker because she has been going and doing an early morning workout class. And so and I've noticed, I feel like there's been kind of a shift with her since starting to do those classes, and things are going a little bit better. But I also have to hear about all the sore muscles. Maybe you need to start drinking some cherry juice to help with the recovery, like I was doing when I was training for the triathlon a couple years ago now. But now that we have the Costco membership again, we're going, we have we can get that cherry juice again, I suppose. And we're going to have to make another run to Costco here. We're going through all of the snacks that we picked up for the kids and some of the different fruits and foods that we've gotten for ourselves. Carrie says, "Ooh, cherry juice. Yes, yum." Yeah, it's something that while I was working out and things, having the cherry juice was great, but then I got injured and I quit working out and I was still drinking the cherry juice, and I don't think it was helping with the helping with the weight loss. So I cut the cherry juice out while I wasn't working out. Maybe I need to work out some more and then I can have some cherry juice. Carrie says it's amazing how quickly our kids have devoured the extra snacks. Yeah, we did find some kind of, I think, better snacks for our kids at Costco than what we had been finding at the other grocery stores. There were these vegan like granola bars that were in a big plastic container. I don't know what the name of them was, but they really had pretty good ingredients in them, you know, considering a lot of the other snacks that we find for our kids. So that was great. And then, excuse me, there was a few other snacks that we've had that it was we usually get them in like a smaller quantity when we get them from the grocery store. So getting them from Costco allows us to get a little bit larger quantity and save a little bit of money because we're buying them more in bulk. There was, yeah, I don't know. The title for today, Finding a Diet That Works. I think that that's something that so many people have, you know, continue to do for years and years. And it's what I try, you know, I from 2000 until 2014, I felt like I was trying to find that diet that works. And then from 2014 until 2020, I pretty much gave up on anything. But I wish I wouldn't have, you know, I wish I would have continued to keep looking for a diet that works, and maybe I would have found this way of eating sooner. But the common thing about all of the diets I used to eat was, you know, it was always about eating in moderation and eating less food than you were eating previously, and that's how you get the weight loss. Carrie here says that they're called the Sunrise Energy Bars. They do contain oil, but they are better otherwise than a lot of the other snacks that the kids eat. Yeah, that's you know, that there is the oil in it, but like it works great for the kids and they seem to enjoy them. I think that per snack bar, per granola bar, they aren't that expensive either, which is always a benefit. But with finding a diet that works and finding, I don't think that they knew I was in the middle of something here, so I'll have to call them back. Just trying for years to find a diet that works and failing and trying, you know, every diet, every gadget, going to the doctor, trying their programs, taking their pills. And the common denominator with all of those diets was eat in moderation, eat a moderate of volume of food, and you'll lose weight. And that works for a short period of time, but it's not sustainable. And then it creates this mental environment where the diet that you're eating to lose weight is different than the diet that you're going to eat the rest of your life. And so then you have to learn, you have to go through two different phases. Then you have to go through a phase of learning how to eat this weight loss diet. And then once you lose the weight, then you have to go through another phase of your learning a maintenance diet. And it isn't a successful blueprint for weight loss, because if it was, everybody would be thin because everybody follows that blueprint. there's so many things that happen when you get to that goal weight point that it makes it nearly impossible to switch to a maintenance diet. It's it's a situation where you, by the time you get to your goal weight, you're just desperate to not be eating that food anymore. You're desperate for a change, and you're desperate for volume because that's what you've been restricting on your diet. You've been restricting volume. And so when you add even the smallest thing that is higher calorie dense or more processed, you're going to latch onto that thing. And so when given the choice between having the food that you ate to lose weight or having this decadent or this higher dopamine stimulating food at your goal weight, you're going to choose that higher dopamine food, and then you're going to choose it more often. And then your balance of your diet is going to get shifted to a point where you're not eating a weight loss diet anymore, but you're eating a weight gain diet because you've allowed that food in. And then once you allow that one food in, then it says, well, your mind plays these tricks on you, and it causes you to make poor decisions. But for me, with this way of eating, I know that eating a whole food plant-based diet with no added salt, oil, sugar is going to help me lose the weight. And then once I get to the goal weight, this is the diet that I'm going to be eating the rest of my life. It's not a diet that I'm going to, once I get to my goal weight, I'm going to get to start adding in all of that processed food again. And what I love about this diet is that I've been enjoying the food the whole way. I don't feel desperate to get off of the diet or to start eating this other way. I want to continue to eat this way and to get better at eating this way. Like, that's my goal or my strive, to become 100%, to become perfect at this diet. And it takes time to get to that perfection. The first time you ride on a bicycle, you're not going to be winning bike races. It's going to take time. You're going to fall. You're going to have issues. You're going to have to learn how to ride that bike. And then you're going to have to learn how to ride a better bike. And you have to learn how to ride around other people. And that takes time and progression. It isn't an immediate, like, I figured it out and I know it right away. It's something where I'm continuing to learn and to become better, and I still don't have it figured out, and I'm aware of the fact that I don't have it figured out. So many diets in the past, I thought that the weight loss alone was the measurement of success. And in reality, it's the sustainability that is the measurement of success. And none of those diets were sustainable. And so in the end, none of them were successful. Even though at the time I thought I was doing great, if you can't sustain it, then it's not a success. Barbie here checking in says, hello everyone, been traveling the last 2 weeks, have another 4 weeks to go. You did really good until yesterday. You just weren't prepared. Trying to get back on track. Husband doesn't do whole food plant-based and like to eat out. Yes, it's very difficult when you're traveling. I really recommend checking out Chef AJ's book. It's one of the ones I read. I believe it's The Secret to Ultimate Weight Loss. That she does a lot of discussing of how to succeed while eating a plant-based diet and traveling. But yeah, I mean, for me, my recommendation for getting back on track is to not skip meals, because that's one of the things I think we do wrong, is that we eat a diet or we eat something that's off of our diet, and then we think, oh my God, I had so many calories today, I can't eat any more food because of the calories I ate. But in reality, you probably ate a smaller volume of food. So you need to go back, you need to eat your next meal like you should have eaten, or you should eat, don't skip meals because you ate something that was off your diet. Eat food that's on your diet quickly after, because you want to get that junk food out of your system. And the best way to get that junk food out of your system is to have more food coming through your system. Our digestive tract is a gravity fed system that once more food is brought in, it pushes the food that's in there out, and you want to get that food out of your body. You don't want it to marinate and allow your body to absorb all of the toxins that are in that food. And then also, by eating a big bowl of potatoes, eating rice and beans, eating your next meal like you were going to, you're getting right back on track. Because if you skip the meal and then you don't eat again till breakfast in the morning, then you're going to be hungry because you ate this small amount of food yesterday that was high calorie, and then you're going to go into the next day with an additional amount of hunger that you didn't need to go into the next day. Yeah, just get back on track right away and eat food. Don't skip meals, because it just leads to your body playing this catch up, this game of catching up with food. So hopefully you can get back on track and understand, like I just said, you aren't, just because you started this diet and you've been doing it for 3 weeks doesn't mean you're going to be out running the Tour de France with professional bike riders. You're going to have to go through and figure out and learn. And you learned yesterday that you weren't prepared. You didn't have food in your future. You didn't have pocket potatoes or something on you to eat, and you slipped up. But you have to use that as a learning experience. And the next time you have to go to that restaurant, and be okay with ordering water or just getting sides of vegetables and get through it, because it's until you succeed at the scenario, you don't have that to fall back on. If, let's say, you change up what happened yesterday and you succeeded, you made the right choice, then when faced with that same scenario tomorrow, you can lean back and say, I made the right choice last time and I survived, I'll survive this time. But you have to get through it that time. Or look back, maybe you did succeed many times before yesterday, but then yesterday you slipped up. You need to forgive yourself for yesterday, realize that you just fell off your bike for the first time, and you get back on and you figure out how to get through the next scenario, or the next time, the next temptation that you come across. But yeah, it's going to take time, but I think you're doing great from what you've been telling us. And I'm really glad you came in, you checked in, and you let us know what's going on. And hopefully, we can help you out. Tammy here says that she's been vegetarian since 1985, whole food, plant-based for the last 5 years. There is no going back. You are correct, Jonathan. This is a lifestyle. Yeah, and it's so cliche. But it really is, it causes, yeah, it's a lifestyle change. And I've said it many times in the past, but if you want to see big changes in your life, you have to make big changes. And those changes are lifestyle changes. Like I've made drastic changes in every aspect of my diet. And I'm so happy that I have, Tammy also says that her health and stamina are amazing as those around you are aging, and it strengthens your resolve. Yeah, absolutely. Seeing people that, it's something for me. I've always kind of measured myself by my size. And there's really been nobody in my life that has been bigger than me. I'm always pretty much been the biggest guy in the room. And so um, when I see people that I hadn't seen for a while, and I'm like, wow, I think I'm thinner than that person is now. It really, it's crazy. Like, you know, it's, yeah, um, it's so satisfying to think that I've made changes that are going to be permanent changes that put me in a better health position than people that I never thought that I would be in a better health spot. So yes, it's great to see my health improving. It does sadden me some too, though, to see other people's health declining, when I feel like I know, you, you wouldn't even have to eat exactly how I eat to improve your health. But yeah, I wish more people tried this way of eating and understood the benefits of eating this way. And even going halfway and just eating whole food, plant-based, no oil, um, you would see such improvements in health. Um, Carrie says, the first time we've said it's a lifestyle, and it actually is. Yeah, it really is. And that was made apparent to me when we first started this, and I was trying to find a snack to make for myself. And I looked in our pantry and I realized I didn't really know how to cook anything, because everything I used to cook before came in a box that had directions printed on the side of the box. It said, boil water and put the noodles in water and mix with this sauce and in with the noodles, and like this diet is more difficult than that, in that you do have to learn how to cook rice, and which for some people they probably has never been a thing. But for me, I've never before this had to cook rice, because I wouldn't eat rice. I wouldn't even eat rice. So I wasn't interested in learning how to cook it. But then we're using ingredients like farro and barley, and Carrie's been using this kamut wheat that we got based off of from a book I read not too long ago, and just trying all these new ingredients and realizing that it is a different lifestyle than the lifestyle I lived before. And it feels good and it feels healthy. And that's awesome. Carrie here saying that her mom and dad eat this way too. And her dad just raves about how he feels and how healthy he is. Yeah, it's pretty awesome to see other people around me that have made changes, and it's been uh it's been cool, like, to see other people see the same benefits as I've been seeing, and to and being in such different points in their life and having different histories and different genetics, and still seeing the same benefits that I'm seeing. And there's some of you people, the guys that are on the stream here, that have been sharing your successes, and to hear that is so encouraging, because it really is a diet that you can succeed with. And it's because of the volume, it's because of the calorie density. It just helps. And it's the two biggest keys that I wish I would have been taught when I was in high school. If this concept would have been taught to me then, how much different would my life be? Because I spent so many years trying to eat this reductionist diet to reduce things down, and to eat, at one point, I mean, essentially, when I went to the doctor and I was taking an appetite suppressant, Like in my mind, if they could have had a pill that was like, okay, this pill has all the nutrients you need to have in a day, and I would just eat that pill and that's all I would eat, that was my goal. That was like the dream diet, was this magic pill diet that just one pill gave you all the nutrients you needed. And it's such a backwards way, because that's not the way the digestive tract is made. It's not the way our physiology is. It's not designed for a magic pill. It's designed to have a massive amount of food brought in, and for it to pull the ingredients out of that massive food to create the magic pill within your body, I guess. And so, yeah, it's been crazy. Let's see. Karen says, that's great, Carrie. Having family and friends supporting us is so important. Yes, it is. And it definitely makes the holidays easier when we travel there. They definitely have options for food for us, which makes traveling more easy for us. So that's great. Let's see. Tammy here says that they just had to ask their daughter how old they are. They don't feel their age of 61. Everyone that Tammy knows that's her age is on many medications and always complaining of their aches and pains. Yes, I mean, that's something that we all kind of fear and we all kind of accept is supposed to happen. Like, if you are in your 60s or 70s and you're not taking a blood pressure medication, you are, and you're not in the ordinary class. Like, doctors are surprised when these older patients don't have medical conditions that require medication. And so it's got to be awesome to be free of those, having to take those medications and being reliant on a pill to survive or to get through your day. Like I had sleep apnea, and the thought of going a night without my sleep mask would cause me anxiety. I can imagine somebody that's on a blood pressure medication, if you were going on a trip and you forgot your medication, what kind of anxiety that would create for you throughout that time. And really, yeah, if just eating a better diet can keep you off medicine, I think it's worth doing. Matt here says that their friend needed their gallbladder out. Not anymore. Her doctor says, keep doing what you're doing. So they were in a position where they needed their gallbladder out, and then they switched to eating a plant-based diet, I'm assuming is what you're saying. And that's awesome. If that's what's going on for them, but yeah, keep doing what you're doing. As long as it's a plant-based diet. Carrie says the thing that she really appreciates about her dad's experience is that he was already healthy. Like, he didn't have to, or he didn't have 50 pounds to lose, and he wasn't dealing with high blood pressure or anything, but he still felt such a difference by changing his diet. Yes, that's, and that's so crazy. Like, just seeing the difference in somebody, and both of Carrie's parents don't have really a lot of weight to lose, and they've both done a great job eating this way and just thinning out from eating this way. And then, yeah, it's, and just removing the issues, that, were just minor nagging things that, that they probably didn't even realize were causing, that they had those. Like, for me, with my ankle pain, like, I knew that there was ankle pain and there was joint pain, but I was so used to the pain that I didn't really think of it as being abnormal. And then now that the pain has gone away, I realize how much my quality of life has improved um, because I don't have that swelling. I don't have that additional 270 pounds walking on my legs every time I take a step. And it's just a great difference to have and feel. So, yeah, just finding this diet, and I I really have to stress too that it wasn't planned. I didn't know that I was going to eat this way. I didn't know that this was going to be a success from the start. Like, I went into it somewhat blindly, figuring, with I'd always thought to myself I would try anything. I would do anything to lose weight. And when even before starting this, I had somebody mention eating a vegan diet, and I was like, well, I wouldn't eat a vegan diet to lose weight, like that wasn't, I wouldn't go that far. But I realized that mental barrier was what was keeping me from going far enough. And while water fasting, I allowed myself to be open to new ideas. And when I saw that the, whole food plant-based diet with no added salt, oil, sugar is what they were recommending for these patients at the True North to eat, I thought, well, if I'm willing to try anything, I might as well put my money where my mouth is and try anything. And so, switching to the plant-based diet and seeing the continued success after the water fast, that I didn't gain any weight, and I just continued to lose weight up until 10, 11 months in, and then I got injured, and that really kind of stalled my weight loss. But that for that 10, 11 months, I just kept seeing, every time I got on the scale, it was another pound off, another half pound off. And it was, it just worked, and it does. And it's because of calorie density and volume eating. Our bodies don't measure calories, our body measures volume. And if you're the type of person that needs a large volume of food to lose weight, then lowering the density of the food is the solution. You got to stop eating food that is 1,500 calories a pound, 2,000 calories a pound, and start eating food that is 3, 4, and 500 calories per pound. Let's see here. Karen says that they saw their doctor today. She said, I probably know more about nutrition than she and her colleagues. I told her I'm still learning. I'm so thankful for all the doctors and others we have to learn from. Absolutely. If everything that I'm saying or everything that I know is something that I have learned within the past 3 years, and I've learned it through my own experience, but also through the books that I've read. And if you're looking for a list of books to read, I'm not much of a reader, so I listen to everything on Audible, but down in the description of the video, on all of my videos, I have all of the books that I have listened to since I started this. This is within the last 3 years. I've listened to these books, some of them multiple times. And I've gathered a great deal of knowledge from those books and those doctors who are sharing their experiences and what they've seen through patients and through studies. And yeah, I mean, you have to become a student of nutrition. And it was my ignorance of nutrition that caused me to be 520 pounds. And I thought I was smart. I thought I knew things. Like, I had lost weight. I had read books. But all of the books I read before were people toting their programs and pushing this idea of moderation down my throat. And maybe moderation works for people that have 20 pounds to lose, but I was never the type of person that only had 20 pounds to lose. I was always somebody who had 100 or 200 or 300 pounds to lose. So um, it's it wasn't until I started reading these books by these plant-based doctors and started following their realistic, actual sustainable programs that I found success, and I found that sustained success that I had been craving for all of these years. Carrie here says it's like all those aches that you feel when you think, well, this is what 40 feels like, or 60 or whatever. Yeah, this diet erases so many of those. And Carrie says that our doctor had asked if we'd be willing to speak to some of her other patients. Yeah, I mean, it's something where doctors are trained, and there are some doctors that do focus on nutrition. But your general practitioner diet, your surgeons, your orthopedic doctors, they don't have a nutritional background. They are, a lot of them are studying specific things, or they're studying maybe a broad range of things, but nutrition doesn't fall into a big part of their learning. I guess I went to school for accounting, and I took a lot of accounting classes, but I also took a sociology class. It doesn't mean I am an expert in sociology, but and so a doctor takes a lot of classes for knowing the body's systems or knowing their specific field, but then they took 3 credit hours of nutrition. They're not an expert in nutrition, but they may be able to read studies and understand studies better, but unless they take the time to learn it outside of their schooling, it isn't a big part. But we feel like doctors are supposed to know everything about health, and that there's some aspect of health that's tied to diet, but there's not a big enough emphasis on it. So much of our health is tied to our diet. And I see that just from, how much different I feel, and the testimonials and the stories of all the other people I hear as well. Karen says that for 4 years off all meds, and her comments today were a new incentive to keep going. Absolutely. Keep it up, Karen. I think that's awesome. And to be off the medication, to be away from, to be able to further yourself away from those systems. I think that it's such I think we mentioned the other day that there's so much more money in the treatment of these diseases than there is in the cure, because if they can cure the disease, then they just see you one time. But if they have to treat the disease, then they see you 12 times every year, or they're and so there's no incentive to make the right choice. Like these companies, yeah, I've talked about it a little bit with the way shareholders work, and how these people that run the companies have to work in the best interest of the shareholders. They do not have to work in the best interest of the customer. If a CEO of a company has a product designer come up, or a pill designer come up and say, hey, we can have this product here that we sell to these people one time and it gives them what they want. Or we can give them this half solution or this product that is going to get them to spend more money with us that isn't going to benefit them as much, the CEO has to choose the thing that is going to make the company more money. Because if the shareholders find out that he made a decision that cost the company potential revenue, they're going to replace him with somebody who isn't going to make that decision, because they only care about their profit. They don't care about the end. They don't care about the consumer. They don't, the only consideration they give to the consumer is how much money can they get from that consumer. And that leaves us in a position of being lied to or told half truths, or lying due to omission kind of things. And it isn't in a doctor's best interest for you to get healthy, because then you stop coming and seeing the doctor. And not, you hope doctors don't think that way, but it is something that even if 80% of them don't think that way, 20% of them do. And how do you know whether or not the doctor you're seeing is in that 80% or in that 20%? Let's see here. Plants Only Muncher says they tried the savory steel cut oats with oat groats dish. It was good, but you like your oats with fruits and soy milk much more. Although I eat my oats with a salad on the side. Yeah, it's all in preference. And we ate our oats and oat groats with fruit for a very long time. We would have apples and bananas, and we'd put some almond butter in there. And in fact, Carrie didn't have the vegetables the other day and made our fruit, our sweet oatmeal. We didn't have the almond butter because we didn't have our Costco membership yet, but it wasn't as good, like we were, and it also, the first time that we made the steel cut oats with the oat groats, kind of our savory breakfast, probably wasn't as good as what we had this morning. Like we've gotten better at getting the mix right with how much spinach we put in and how much of the flavorings we put in. And, also, what kind of seasoning are you using? We like the Kirkland's no salt seasoning. We also like the Table Tasty is probably my favorite seasoning, but it does get pretty expensive to go through as much of it as we go through. So yeah, guys, if I started to say, I think, but if you're the type of person that's sitting there saying, I'm willing to try anything, and you haven't tried a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet, it's definitely worth trying. And give it a few weeks. And I believe if you give it an honest shot for a few weeks, you're going to see health benefits. You're going to see some of those health issues that you've been suffering start to alleviate. You're going to see some positive results by giving it a shot. And it does work, like I say in the article, I'm just a regular person that has been doing something extraordinary, but it's only because of this extraordinary diet. It really has changed my life. It's made the lives of those around me better, and it's truly a sustainable diet that you can do the rest of your life. And it's not a gimmick. It's not a buy this program, pay for this and see success. It's a diet that you can go to, and if you fall off the wagon, you can get back on. It doesn't require you to starve yourself. It just requires you to spend a little bit more time in the kitchen and being a little bit more aware of what you're putting in your mouth. You're not driving down the road on cruise control. You have to kind of shift gears and pay attention to what's going on. And but that little bit of awareness is going to add years to your life, because I know it's added years to my life. And so but I think I'm going to get out of here for today. I appreciate all you guys checking out my video. If you are a member of the NHA, make sure you check out the article. It's towards the back. I don't know if the page numbers are on here. It looks like it's page 30 something, or page 36 and 37 in the NHA magazine. Plant Powered Peddler Janet has an article in the magazine as well on page 35. So if you follow her, you get both our stories kind of in one magazine. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I appreciate all of the support. It absolutely helps with what I've been doing here, and it keeps me motivated. If you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you get subscribed to the channel. Click on that bell icon so you get alerted when I go live here. And if you haven't hit the like button on the video, make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door. I would appreciate that a lot. And if you have not started your diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up that's more important than your health or your overall well-being. And there's nobody that reaches their goals, looks back, and wishes they would have waited. So get started now, guys. I will see you on the next one.